Time to get funked up, baby, in TP Corleone's Funk Zone. Funky music, entertainment, media, and more. But all things are funky. Can you dig it now?
Good, baby Bubba, to the boogie, the bang, bang. Welcome once again to another episode of TP Corleone's Funk Zone, coming to you directly from the Chi and especially the Midwest. Today, we got some Midwest love in the building, a great group. And I have the lead singer of this group that I ran across about maybe a month ago. I was just scrolling and listening to some good tunes and videos on Instagram. So IG is a great medium to get your stuff out there.
Cool.
Yes. So as you may see on the screen, this diva right here is funky as hell. You dig what I'm saying? Without further ado, this is Miss Laura Rain of Laura and the Caesars. How you doing, Laura?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me. It's we're not too far. We play in Chicago on a frequent basis, but we'll see what's happening in the next few months here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when's the last time you guys been into Chicago as far as
Last time we performed, I think, was in 2019.
Oh.
Yeah, our last show was at Buddy Guy's.
Oh yeah, okay.
We play there on a semi-regular basis, I guess. And we were on our way to Canada, Edmonton, Alberta. We had a tour all the way across the country and up north. And that was, I think that was the last time that we played at Buddy Guy's. Yeah.
Wow. Well, y'all are cousins anyway. As they may not know, you're from Detroit. So Detroit is our cousin anyway.
That's right.
Buddy Guys. Well, all right. You know, it's kind of funny that it was amazing to me that you were from the Midwest, as I may have heard me say before. With the style you guys have, it's kind of common to hear that style coming from the UK. You know, they are really serious about the vintage throwback soul funky sounds, you know. But you guys, I first assumed you were from the UK. Forgive me if I, prejudged y'all, but y'all are definitely from the States and from the Midwest. You know, what is it about that style that made you guys want to get into it? Just curious about that,
You know, there's no rhyme or reason to how I write. So, I think just because of my influences and growing up in Detroit and loving music, I think I'm partial to 60s, 70s, and 80s funk and soul. So whatever that lends itself to be, I mean, I wrote the song not really intending it to be a throwback tune, but things just kind of create themselves as the process continues. So that's what it was. And, we have a lot of vintage soul tunes, but that one really grabbed everyone in a major way. That was our last release on December 31st.
Okay.
So,
So, well, let me try to pull this out of you. This style, well, how would you define it, first of all? I may have a word for it, but how would you define the style of music that Laura Rain of the Caesars perform and write and so forth? How would you describe?
Well, vintage soul and R&B, and I think that for me, that's 60s, 70s, kind of 80s soul, and that encompasses kind of a large spectrum.
True.
We also play and write Detroit style music, which encompasses another element. But when I say vintage soul and R&B, people think immediately that we're like a 60s soul band. So I don't really know what to say to encompass all of the music that we write, other than that I'm a soul singer, and I just do what's authentic to me at the time. So
that's
that is what we do.
Yeah, I can dig that. I kind of assumed that maybe you grew up in a house where that kind of music was played. Or I know I did. My mom and pops used to bang that kind of music on rotation all the time, and it kind of reminds me of Motown too, as well. And being that you're from Detroit, I'm quite sure Motown is just all in the soil around you. I mean, is that true or not? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely think it's in the soil. I think it's in the water.
Everywhere. Yeah. That's love. That's love, though. That's love. And I know I'm going off script a little bit, but the video for the latest single, it's hot. It's really, really hot. I was checking it out before we started this interview, and I was just saying, I kind of assumed you was going to have your Diana Ross, Mary Wells, lashes on, the wig, and everything. I hate to keep going back to there, you know what I mean? But that's just a vibe, because that's just a vibe right there, and I dig it. I dig it. It's so cool. You know what I mean? So your group, how many members are in the group? I know I have you here. How many members are in the group?
Well, it depends. My husband, George Friend, he plays guitar. He writes everything with me. He produces all the music. We have Jeff Poe, who plays drums and bass. He's from the east side of Detroit. He's a gospel musician. We have Jim Alfredson, who's an organist, lives in the Lansing area. He's played with a lot of big names. Mm-hmm. And we have Max Bauhoff, who actually produced Closer to the Wind. He now lives in Los Angeles.
Okay.
We have a rotation of different members of our band. It depends on where we're playing and what we're doing. But those right now have been our core members.
I heard some strings on the last cut, Closer to the Rain. I heard some strings on there as well. Was there a string section? Was that a keyboard or a synthesizer? Or is it a secret? Is it an industry secret?
So that is actually Mellotron. That is a vintage Mellotron. So our organist, he has all these vintage synths. And he has access to even more vintage and rare synths. So we wanted authentic strings. What we got was the Mellotron, which has an interesting sound to it. So that is what you're hearing.
All right, yeah, a friend of mine was actually putting me up on Mellotron, but I never really touched it myself, so I see now. Well, your organist knows what the hell he's doing, so yeah, you know what the hell he's doing. I give it to him. Y'all got the sound down. You got the sound down. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
That is so cool. How, this is something else I want to know. With the style that you have, has anyone confused you guys with being from anywhere other than the Midwest or the United States or Detroit? Has anyone confused you with being, from out of the States? Because I know I did.
I think a couple people did, people from the UK, when they think of, or even on the West Coast, they say Chicago, Detroit. They don't really differentiate between the two. So, but we brand ourselves as a Detroit band. We really try to bump up the city as much as we can and tell everybody where we're from, and that there's, great music of all genres coming out of the city still. So we don't get a whole lot of that, I think it's pretty clear. We used to have a t-shirt that said Motown Hustle, Motor City Muscle. So it's pretty clear where we're from, but maybe we're not pushing the Detroit brand as hard at the moment, but I do get that sometimes. I think especially for that song, people didn't know where we were from. They didn't know what kind of hit them in the back of the head. So
I definitely got hit. I definitely got hit with that. But this is a hot song that I really, really love it, Closer to the Wind. I really, really love it, Now, speaking of like the Detroit scene, now when I was like a teenager, because I'm from Chicago, and of course, many people who may have seen documentaries or watch YouTube or just into certain that club, that party. Know that Chicago is also the birthplace of house music and the house music scene. So when I was a teenager, Detroit also had their dance music scene, which bounced from our scene, which was called techno. So the only scene that I really was aware that Detroit had within the last 30 years was like the techno scene. So to hear a group like yourself coming from Detroit doing what you do is kind of amazing. And also, I'm wondering, is there a scene there also that supports what you do from Detroit, or are you kind of the front of a scene you're trying to start, or what's happening right there locally?
I would say all of the above that you just said are correct. Our music pulls to a lot of different people. I think we bring a lot of different people together.
Yeah.
When we first started the band, we were playing in downtown Detroit, and we still have a strong Detroit, city fan base.
Okay.
And I think we just pull groups of people that are music lovers, and I think curators of soul music, like what we're doing. As far as performing, I would say definitely the work is scarce, and we work a lot because I get work, but local work is kind of scarce. So we've been touring for 6 years as the band, and building our fan base and doing festivals, and we have been to France. I would not say, I think there's a small soul scene here, but I wouldn't say that it's a big thing. I think people in the city are still learning about our music. We do get played on the local NPR station.
Okay.
People are still learning. When they see us, they enjoy the music, but there should be a stronger supporting music scene here, and it's pretty weak. I feel it's pretty weak at the moment.
Okay, yeah. Well, y'all just kick it off. Maybe y'all can be like what Prince was to Minneapolis. Who knows? Who knows? And that's not even a big step. Y'all can do it. I believe y'all can really do that. But thank God for technology, because like you just said, you guys were in France, festivals on the West Coast and so forth. So we still can make it happen. That's not anything new either. How many acts have you heard had to go elsewhere to break it big before their own hometown appreciated it? That happens like all the time. It's still happening.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But thank God for Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, all those things make you still a worldwide sensation, which you shall be soon. I'm quite sure. I'm really, really quite sure you did what I'm saying. So well, let me ask you this, Closer to the Wind. Let's go back to that again, because I was checking out the video, like I said again. You were walking down, it looked like downtown. Were you like in a downtown? Is that downtown Detroit or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we were right off Woodward Avenue.
Okay.
Downtown Detroit, in front of the Fox Theater. And that video was one take. My husband shot it. One take, one and done. Of course, we did more after that, but that was the one. It was like 2 days after Christmas, we shot it.
Wow, was it cold? Was it cold outside?
It was cold. I took my coat off because I thought I have to take my coat off.
You were a trooper. You were a soldier, girl.
Yeah. I thought the coat was going to disguise my movement, and I was right. So, because it's all about walking there's a very, the song has a retro feel, but there's a very modern beat, and there's definitely a modern presence. So I wanted to have that swagger of walking down the street and telling the story, and you have to see my body movement. So yes, I took off my coat. It was like 20 degrees. It certainly wasn't like February, it was still, but it was cold. We couldn't feel our fingers when we were.
Whoa,
said, I'm done. I can't feel anything.
Talking about dedication, you had mentioned something just right now that I'm glad to mention, because that's kind of how I assessed that video. Basically, your style you have in general. although it's a throwback style, you still know it's current because the production is definitely current. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
production, as far as the technology that made it available to be, first of all, it's in stereo for the first part. You know, that style back in the day was AM, it was mono, it's in stereo, the beats hit hard. You know what I'm saying? I actually heard beats that I could see somebody sampling if they wanted to. Not that I would do it, you know, but I heard some beats in there that somebody could sample. Definitely, I definitely was people that. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually happening. That actually happened with that song. Funny that
Really?
you should
Oh, really?
mention. Yes,
Whoa!
yes, we had a producer on the West Coast hear our music, and he wanted to do a sample pack with us.
What?
So Battle of the Beats, I think it's Battle of the Beats, that's actually going on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And they're actually flipping, they're doing a sample, you know, contest with producers and flipping like 4 of the samples that we did with him. And I believe that Closer to the Wind is one of them.
That's what
Yes.
I'm talking about, for real. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Oh, I gotta check it out. So is that online, or was it just is it
Yes,
live or online, or okay?
it's online. So if you go on my Instagram, I believe it's BBM, and it's going to be on Twitch. So it's Battle of the Beat Makers or Battle of the Beats.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
you can tell I'm not really a hip hop person, but
Right.
more
Okay.
into
It's
this
all right.
because
It's
it's
all right. It's all
exciting.
right.
It's really
Okay.
exciting.
That's nice. That is so nice. You know, because rarely nowadays you don't hear too many artists that are. I mean, not that your stuff should be sampled, or that's not what you're pushing for, but it is good publishing. But you know, there's something to be said about the type of artist that performs and still records music that is so hot or so vintage sounding that other people want to just take pieces of it and just incorporate it into what they do, you know. And I can't really think of any artists that I know that I can get that from, but you want it, you know. So you guys are definitely on that, you know. That means you're on the right track, you know. That's so hot.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, I know you mentioned earlier about, well, you were touring and you haven't really toured since what, 2019? Did you say that? Or 2020 was it? Or
20, yeah, we had to cancel our
oh,
tour because of COVID. So
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So I would assume, is COVID giving you an opportunity to at least record more or write and create more, you know, just reset the band, that kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Reset, you know, reset on everything. You know,
Mhm.
we have a young child, so it's
Wow.
hard to
Yeah.
get a lot of things done. And actually he goes on the road with us. He's 3.5. He goes
Really?
everywhere with us. But we started releasing a single a month in September. So Closer to the Wind was number 5. So we have 4 albums and 1 single previous to that. And then we had a long stint where we were touring and not releasing music. We were writing, but it was just really hard with our son's age and our workload at the time. And the timing just didn't feel right. The last album that we released prior to August of 2020 was in 2017, right after my son was born.
Okay.
So when COVID hit, we started, you know, writing more and gathering all of our songs, and we just started this whole campaign. That's how I connected with you, through social media. 1 song, 1 video. So we've got, you know, we'd blast to everybody that we knew. Soul Creature was the first one. Different State of Mind, I think, was the second one.
Okay.
The Deal was the third one. If I Can't Have You was the 4th one, and Closer to the Wind was number 5. So when number 4 kicked up, we really started to get some steam and create some buzz. And when 5 kicked up, it was like gangbusters. We never had so much response and reaction from people ever with any music that we released.
Wow. So I don't know if I want to say fortunately or unfortunately, COVID kind of just, hate this, I don't want to say a blessing, but it shot some adrenaline into your career, put it like that. You know, it shot
Absolutely.
in your career. Yeah, that's happening to a lot of people. I'm also seeing some people are hurting, some people are on the other end are, capitalizing off of it and being blessed from it. Either way, you just keep on doing what you're doing. Just keep up that
Yeah.
soul funky thing that y'all have going on. And big shout out and kudos to you and your husband as well, because, I should have had a feeling that with, two powerful minds together, of the same mind to get something like that going, that's not easy to come across. So you and your husband, y'all doing it. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
No problem. So we're going to wrap it up soon. I could keep you forever, because I just like to talk, but I do want you to put out some info as far as where they can buy your music,
Yes.
things like that. I'm going to post a link to the video. But where can I buy
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
So, yeah.
we will have a new single coming out in May. So more
Okay.
music coming.
All right.
We have a record deal in the UK on LRK Records.
Okay.
Which is exciting. So all these things have happened.
Was that new? Was that
And
a very recent deal that you just inked, or?
So that happened in December.
Really?
That happened in December. After we released Closer to the Wind. So all of these people contacted me. You just heard, that was my son just banging on the door.
Okay, it's okay, baby.
Life is not.
It's real life. We do it with real life. It's okay, baby. It's all good. It's all good.
I try my best, but
hey, everybody is doing it, so it's good. That's the new thing. So yeah, it's
kind of crazy.
Right.
So everything is so we sold out of the vinyl on LRK. I think it will be here at the end of the month. So that was really exciting too. People wanted it. So, but new music coming May, and then another full length LP in July.
Okay.
So more music. We're just starting to book our tours again. So it kind of picked up, but we'll see. I think people are booking and then they get hesitant, and then we'll see.
It's a gamble. You never know what's going to happen with that. It's a gamble. Yeah.
But everything can be found, all of our music. If you want to discover Laura Rain and the Caesars, the easiest thing to do is to go to the website laurarain.net. You can listen to all of our 4 albums for free. All of our videos are up there for all of our singles. You can purchase the singles for 99 cents. We do have some CDs and vinyl in stock if you do decide you want an album. That's the easiest way. Then we're on Facebook, Laura Rain and the Caesars. Instagram, Ms. Laura Rain. If you go on Instagram, I have the Battle of the Beats tagged and posted right now because that's happening tonight.
Wow.
So we're pretty easy to keep up with. We hope to be, it looks like August, end of July, August, we'll be back on the road. And so hopefully that will kick up some more work. We have been getting some offers trickling in from the UK and Europe. So we hope that once everybody starts to feel a little bit more secure, that those will come together as well. So we're pretty excited. So we just have to get all this music done and put it out. That's what we have to do right now. So that's pretty exciting.
Okay, well, guess who else is excited? Me. Because really, with all these things that have going now, I caught you at the right time before you blow up. I don't know you anymore. You know what I mean? So it's cool. I got you at the right time. Got the UK deal going, which I already know what's going to happen with that. I already know where that's going, what I'm saying. So I caught you at the right time before you became superly, duperly international. I can't get you on the phone no more. So thanks for talking to little old me right now. I appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Oh, you're absolutely, it's I hope that people continue to seek out our music. It's been really a blessing through all this. So it's exciting, and we just have to stay positive and create more music and
yes. Okay, well, thank you for coming. Before I let you go, I'm just going to say a couple of things to the listeners. So I will be adding Closer to the Wind to my Funk Zone radio show, which airs every Friday on WGFMradio.com, noon to 3. So for those who know about the funk, tune in. For those who don't know about the funk, tune in to hear some and learn some and get funks. And Laura Rain and the Caesars is now added to rotation. Subscribe, share, enjoy, and peace and love. Have a good rest of the weekend, and I will funk with you soon. Thanks again, Laura. All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. No problem. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Okay.
Okay. All
Thanks so
right.
much for having
No
me.
problem. No